Well, hello, here I am on the outside of my house, on the front porch, standing out here waiting for the big storm to arrive. We have been told it's coming, and it's supposed to be some kind of a hurricane of some kind. And so, of course, we are being running around getting extra water, getting food that you can keep outside of the refrigerator in case we lose our power. We've been charging all our batteries and charging all our phones, all the things you do in preparation for a disaster. But hopefully the disaster will not happen. Human beings are so funny. If somebody warns us of a disaster, then you get busy and you pray, oh, God, have mercy on us, have mercy on us, let it pass us by. And then it passes us by, and then everybody say, you see, what was this? You get all excited for nothing. Nothing was bad. Nothing was going to happen. You forgot that you were praying about it. You say, dear God, please have mercy on us in this disaster. As for me, there's something in me that gets excited for the storm, because in Liberia, we used to have storm all the time. And nobody had radio that could tell us what time the storm was going to arrive, how big it was going to be. You just took life as it came, one day at a time. So most of the time you are just trying to keep in mind you need to be prepared for a big storm, but you didn't turn your whole life inside out over it, and then a big storm never arrived. But it was one day when we were not expecting a storm. Okay, I can't tell you the year for sure. I think it was probably around 1970, 1971, something like that. And we were not expecting a storm. You could usually hear when the storms were coming, the sky will get dark, the chicken will run for cover under the trees, and everything will get silent before the storm, and then the storm would hit, and oh my goodness. But this day, I can't remember any big warning. All of a sudden, it just seemed like the sky got black, and there was a big wind, and the storm came, and what? Trees were falling down. You could see the trees falling as if it was just something that the children had set up for a playground, and they were pushing the trees down now. Oh my goodness. At our house, there was destruction in that storm. Like I can't remember us seeing before in storms, because we had our screen windows. I told you about the screens and putting plastic on the windows for the storm. We didn't have time to put any plastic on anything this day. And even if we had, it would have been to no avail, because the wind came straight through that main window on the main floor of our house, and blew the window out of its setting in the wall. And of course, we had a mud brick house. So the window was set into the mud. The wind just came in, trashed the whole thing, blew the window out, and mud plaster everywhere. And the thing about that one was my mother, she was busy making one of her Basso books. I don't know if it was the Genesis book or which book it was. She was busy making the book. And after typing all the stencil, then she put a stencil on a mimeograph machine. She took a brush and brushed the ink inside the mimeograph machine. Then she ran off the copies, and she hoped that her stencil would last long enough. It was a big production. It took hours and hours. And just to type the stencil and make no mistake on the stencil, it was very, very, very difficult and challenging job that woman took upon herself. And that day, the storm came, it blew that window out, and the mud from the mud house, it went straight into the mimeograph machine. It just made a mess of everything my mother was working on. Very discouraging. But later that day, it was interesting. I gotta let the school bus go by here now. I'm outside, so I'm getting all the noise. Anyway, it was interesting because that day, people started coming to the mission for something. Maybe they would come to the clinic, or the children would come to school. They say, what? What happened on the mission today? We've been down the road, no storm. We've been up the road, no storm. What happened here? And you could track the path of the storm. It came straight across the mission, took down the trees in its way, came straight through the house window, threw the mud into the mimeograph machine and went out the other side. It was gone. You know, when my father started to hear the reports, he came to his own conclusion. And my father was a very interesting man because we often called him the Indian rubber man. So if you had a rubber ball made out of this Indian rubber, the harder you smash it down, the higher it will bounce. That little ball, Indian rubber ball, could bounce so high. The more you smash it down, the higher it will jump up back into the air. That was like my father. He was the Indian rubber ball man. If you smash him down, he will jump up high with joy. If he realized that the smash was in opposition, and that day when we got that storm coming in, he saw it as demonic opposition to the spreading of the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ through the books that my mother was translating and putting on the mimeograph machine. He got up straight. He took that machine to his shop. He cleaned it all up. He overhauled the whole thing. So now it was going to work even better than the time before. Let me tell you, we need to remember that when the storms of life come upon us, maybe it's nothing against us. Maybe it is totally the opposition of the enemy because they know the position we have with the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So if you are finding yourself in opposition to the storms of life today, if you think that they are just there to destroy your heart and soul, take courage. Put your faith and your trust in the Lord Jesus. Get on his side in the fight. Because these things, whether it's the words of a mean and nasty person, whether it is a storm that comes over the hilltop and takes down all the trees and almost takes your life, these things can be opposition of the enemy of your soul. And he's not only caring about getting you, let me tell you, the enemy of your soul goes much further than that because it reaches out to the work that you are doing for the gospel of Jesus Christ. Because see, the person the enemy is really after is the one who is the commander of the army of God, the Lord Jesus Christ. Let's be in his service, okay? It's the best place to be. So as we wait for our hurricane here in in Dartmouth, in Canada, we don't know what's going to come, but I will keep you posted. And if the big storm arrives like they say it's going to, I'll take pictures and post it here, and you can see our big storm. And you say, what? In Liberia, this would be just a little storm, or these people don't know nothing when it comes to bad rain. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.